Met Gala 2025 has finally arrived, and just as many had predicted, one of the brightest stars of the night was none other than BTS's Jimin. The moment he stepped onto the red carpet, all eyes and cameras turned instantly toward him. Dressed in a breathtaking, futuristic, ivory ensemble with dramatic, oversized shoulder details, Jimin looked like a true fashion king descending to claim his throne on the world's grandest fashion stage. The atmosphere shifted in an instant. As Jimin walked slowly and gracefully, the sound of camera shutters echoed like thunder, every photographer desperate to capture his every move. Celebrities standing nearby couldn't hide their admiration, their gazes locked on Jimin as if he were the main event of the evening. It wasn't just about the outfit. Jimin wore it with such unparalleled confidence that it seemed as though the Met Gala itself was merely his personal runway. Fans and critics alike are calling this a historic fashion moment. Jimin's presence at Met Gala wasn't only about representing BTS. It was about solidifying his role as one of the most influential fashion icons of this generation. International media outlets have already dubbed him the King of Met Gala 2025, a title rarely bestowed upon Asian stars, making this moment even more iconic. On social media, hashtags like King Jimin and Met Gala 2025 exploded to the top of worldwide trends within minutes. Army from across the globe flooded timelines with praise, declaring Jimin the very definition of elegance, charisma, and sophistication. Many fans admitted to tearing up as they witnessed Jimin not only shining as an idol but also transcending into a global fashion legend who knows no boundaries. That night, Jimin proved one undeniable truth. The world may be filled with stars, but at Met Gala 2025, there was only one who shined the brightest, and it was him. The red carpet has always been a battlefield of style, a place where designers, celebrities, and icons come together to showcase bold statements through fashion. But on the night of Met Gala 2025, Jimin wasn't just another guest. He was the moment. The futuristic silhouette of his ivory outfit, paired with the subtle shimmer of metallic gloves and bold tinted glasses, created a vision that was both timeless and ahead of its era. It was not fashion alone, it was art in motion. When Jimin stopped in front of the roaring crowd of photographers, raising his hand ever so slightly, the flashes lit up the venue like lightning. Every angle, every gesture, and every step was captured, immortalized in images that would soon flood headlines across the globe. Fashion experts whispered among themselves, calling his outfit a masterpiece, something that will be talked about for years to come. And while Jimin stood there, calm and collected, one thing was undeniable: he wasn't overshadowed by anyone. In a sea of celebrities, he didn't just blend in, he stood out as the very definition of Met Gala's theme for 2025. Social media platforms became a frenzy. Within seconds, fan edits, close-up videos, and live reactions were everywhere. Some even declared that the entire event could have ended with Jimin's arrival, because nothing could possibly top that moment. But beyond the glitz and glamour, there was something deeper. For ARMY, this was more than fashion. It was history. They remembered the boy who once doubted himself, the young trainee who questioned his path, the artist who once admitted to struggling with confidence. Seeing him now, walking with undeniable presence at the most prestigious fashion event in the world, was like witnessing a full-circle miracle. It wasn't just a Met Gala appearance. It was a declaration. Jimin had arrived, and he belonged on the world stage. That contrast, the vulnerable artist behind the superstar aura, is what makes Jimin's presence so powerful. He embodies not just luxury and fashion, but also resilience and authenticity. And in that moment, as his name echoed through the cameras and reporters shouted for a glance, it became clear Jimin wasn't just participating in Met Gala 2025, he was defining it. As the night went on, Jimin's presence became the talk of Met Gala 2025. Every major media outlet dedicated their headlines to him, with words like unstoppable, iconic, and the king of fashion. Journalists who had covered countless Met Galas before confessed that they had never witnessed such raw anticipation for one person. It wasn't just the outfit, it was the aura, the unexplainable magnetism that Jimin carried with him. Inside the venue, whispers followed him wherever he went. Designers leaned in, eager to catch his attention, while fellow celebrities exchanged glances of awe. Some even admitted they felt underdressed standing next to him. For the fashion world, Jimin wasn't simply a guest anymore. He was a muse, an inspiration, a standard of elegance that others would chase but few could match. Meanwhile, outside the glamorous walls of Met Gala, the digital world was exploding. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, every corner of the internet became a shrine dedicated to Jimin's look. Clips of him adjusting his futuristic cape or glancing over his shoulder became viral within minutes. Fan artists recreated his look in drawings and digital edits, while fashion analysts broke down every detail of his outfit, calling it a perfect blend of power, vulnerability, and art. ARMY, as always, turned the moment into history. Fans who had stayed up all night just to watch the live stream cried tears of pride, writing heartfelt messages about how Jimin once doubted his worth but now stood as a global icon. "He's not just wearing clothes," one fan tweeted. "He's wearing his journey, his pain, his triumphs." Tonight, Jimin is Met Gala, but perhaps the most emotional part of the night came when Jimin paused on the carpet and looked out toward the fans cheering his name from beyond the barricades. For a split second, his confident smile softened into something more tender, more genuine. It was as if he was silently thanking them for carrying him to this point. Cameras caught that exact moment, and within hours, the picture went viral. The smile that stole Met Gala 2020. In that instant, the world saw more than just a superstar. They saw Jimin, the artist who had grown from a small stage in Busan to the pinnacle of global fashion. They saw a man who had turned insecurities into power, doubt into art, and silence into thunderous applause. And just like that, Jimin wasn't only the king of Met Gala 2025. He became a symbol of hope, resilience, and beauty inside and out. The futuristic ivory outfit Jimin wore wasn't just fashion, it was a statement. Designed with sharp, structured shoulders yet softened with flowing fabric that trailed like liquid light, the ensemble seemed to carry symbolism that no one could ignore. Fashion critics speculated that the bold shoulders represented strength and resilience, while the fluid fabric symbolized vulnerability and grace. It was a duality, much like Jimin himself, who is both fierce on stage and tender in his words off stage. Social media quickly turned into a battlefield of theories. Some ARMY believed the metallic accents in his gloves and accessories hinted at the idea of transformation, a reflection of Jimin stepping into a new chapter of his career and life. Others pointed out that the color ivory isn't pure white. It has warmth, depth, and history, just like Jimin's journey. Fans flooded platforms with captions like, "Every detail has a story, and Jimin is the storyteller." Even the tinted glasses became a subject of fascination. Why choose that specific shade? Was it just a fashion statement? Or was it a metaphor for seeing the world differently? For looking into the future with boldness? Analysts broke down these elements as if they were chapters of a novel, and the world was hooked. But what truly melted hearts was the idea that Jimin's outfit was not just for the cameras, it was for ARMY. Many fans believed the flowing cape symbolized the support of millions who stood behind him, lifting him higher every step of the way. "It's not just fabric," one fan wrote, "it's us. We are his wings." That interpretation spread like wildfire, leaving ARMY in tears across the globe. To witness him now, owning the Met Gala with confidence and artistry, felt almost surreal. It was proof that dreams can transform into reality, that a boy from Busan could grow into the king of Met Gala 2025. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss the next big news about Jungkook and BTS. Your support means everything. See you in the next video.